everybody.
Hi.
It's that time again.
What time? X-Files?
X-Files by Moonlight. So this week we're going to be discussing the episode Kitten, which is episode 6 of season 11.
The Skinner episode.
The Skinner episode, yes. And Skinner, I guess, refers to Kitten, or is...
Kitten? What?
They refer Skinner to Kitten.
Wait, what?
You'll find out in a minute.
You mean this kitten is a reference to Skinner?
Yes.
Okay.
What did I say?
They refer him to a kitten?
It's very, very late, okay?
It's late.
This is always our excuse. It's late.
It's a good excuse. It's usually pretty late when we film. But yeah,
wow.
okay. So Skinner,
okay. Yeah.
the kitten.
Skinner's a kitten. Anyway, so what did you think, General?
I thought this was a really good one. Yeah. Very good. Very good.
I thought it was very good too.
Very classic, old school. Especially with all the like I always remember those certain episodes. There was a lot of trees and everything. They're out in the woods.
Yes.
You know.
Very early X-Files.
Yeah.
Mhm. I love it.
Yeah.
And we just watched an old episode of X-Files called Gender Bender from season 1, episode 14. I'm getting better at remembering again.
Yeah.
Yeah, very old school. I love it.
Yeah. Well, so this one that we saw today, and we're talking about this one kind of late because we were both out of town for a little while.
Yes.
But yeah, so we're playing a little catch up. But we had already seen this. We saw it when it came out, and we watched it again today. And this one is kind of special because it has a major guest star throughout the whole episode, which was a little boy from The Sixth Sense.
Haley
Joel Osment, who's not a little boy anymore at all.
He's a grown man.
So that was really interesting. I had not seen him. I know he has done stuff,
okay,
but I haven't.
Know that.
Like I know he was in that movie, The Walrus. I think that's what it's called. That Kevin Smith made recently. By the way, best wishes to Kevin Smith, and we hope he makes a fast recovery. Well, he seems like he's doing really well, so that's great.
His optimism is amazing.
Yeah. We love Kevin Smith.
We do.
So we watch his YouTube and everything. Mm-hmm. So anyway, I know he was in a Kevin Smith movie not too long back.
I did not know that.
That I've been really wanting to see. I haven't gotten
to
around to seeing that yet. I think it's called The Walrus. So he's been doing stuff.
Well, cool.
But yeah, and he's really good. He's still really good.
I thought he was good in this, yeah.
Yeah,
it was
excellent.
Really neat.
So he plays a guy who was in Vietnam
with Skinner.
And
he also plays
that guy's son,
right.
And mostly he's playing that guy's son in the episode. There are just some flashbacks.
Right, the flashbacks are of his
So you want to talk about what the episode was about?
Well, the episode, like we said, is about Skinner, and Mulder and Scully have been called... Oh, spoilers, by the way. Spoilers, as you all know. Mulder and Scully have been called into Kirsch's office, which, by the way, I've never really liked Kirsch. He's always been...
Hard-ass?
A hard-ass to Mulder and Scully.
But
definitely.
Skinner's a little bit of a hard-ass.
Now, I feel... Oh, but Skinner's...
Not compared to...
No. Skinner's like their father. I think we've discussed in previous videos. But Kirsch was always very much a hard-ass, very down on Skinner and everything. He doesn't believe in the X-Files at all. Although I feel, and like I've said before, I need to revisit the X-Files because I don't remember some of the mythology as far as Kirsch goes. But I think at the end he helps them out. He helps them escape.
Yeah, I think so.
I'm pretty sure at the in season 9 he helps them escape. But regardless, he's a jerk, so I don't really like him. But anyway, he calls them into his office because Skinner has gone missing. And one of the key points of this episode is the fact that while Kirsch is explaining all this to Mulder and Scully and trying to put them on the case of finding Skinner, he says that he has no doubt that the fact that Skinner has not progressed
like he's not
career,
running the FBI.
Right, like he should be running the FBI now. that it is all because of Mulder and Scully and his relationship with them and his faith in them and all of that. So
yeah, that's not cool.
That is not cool. I know. Jerk. So, just saying.
So
anyway, so of course Mulder and Scully they're kind of skeptical and paranoid about Skinner right now because he's been in some weird situations lately. They don't know.
Well, the smoking, he's always
trust
hanging
him.
out with the smoking
He's
man.
always hanging out with the smoking man, which he was initially in the first few seasons that he was in there anyway.
I don't remember that.
But at some point, and I always remember this, I'm sure you guys remember it too, at some point, Skinner just drew the line and was like, I'm not dealing with you cigarette smoking man anymore, and he put those nameplates on the desks? He put one that said no smoking. And when the cigarette smoking man came in there and tried into his office and tried to light up one last time, he pointed to the sign and he said, get out. It was awesome. So I don't remember what episode that was, but that might have been when Scully had gotten abducted, but I'm not sure. Anyway. So Mulder and Scully run off to go find out what's going on with Skinner. They first search his apartment, which is oddly unfurnished. Or there's like it's furnished, but it doesn't have any personal effects.
Yeah.
Of any kind. So that was interesting.
And you thought it looked very 90s.
It looked very 90s apartment, very 90s.
Yeah.
So we saw that, and Mulder and Scully were commenting and having discussions and joking around, which we'll talk about later in the shipper moments. And then, what did they find there? They find an envelope, right?
Metamucil or something.
Well, that's the joke. That's a joke.
But, not a joke if you have to take it.
Mulder makes a joke, as he always does about it. But no, they find an envelope or a package, and they open it up, and it is an ear.
An ear, a human ear.
A human ear.
It's all decayed and like rotten.
Yeah, and Nathan, Mulder like freaks out.
I didn't freak out, but Mulder freaked out. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know why I said that, but Mulder freaks out and he jumps. He's like, oh, he does one of his girly screams almost. And then Scully, I guess Scully finds a note inside it, and it says something about the monsters are here. The monsters are here, something like that. Anyway, so they follow the address of the package of where it came from, and they find out that a lot of his buddies from Vietnam in his unit were. I'm not sure. Do you remember that part? Okay, you don't remember that? Something about the guys in his unit. They were killed off? I don't know. I don't remember.
They were probably...
Well, anyway...
They were killed off.
Haley Joel Osment's... I don't know. Haley Joel Osment was...
he was his best friend.
He was the best friend,
then,
right. And he was put in an asylum.
Yeah.
For some reason.
Well, they were on a, I don't know, what do you call it, a mission?
Right.
And
let me tell you guys, we are so bad about military things. Like we have no.
We'll check out if you put the military stuff going on in front of us, and we'll check out. But unless it's Star Wars.
But I didn't check out in this episode. Not that we're saying that.
No, we didn't check out in this. It was interesting, but. Yeah, they were, well, like I said, they were on I don't know, whatever they
mission.
do. I don't know. It's Vietnam, so they were, see, part of the Union?
No, they were part of a unit.
They were, I don't know,
wrong war.
They went into a building and there was a bunch of Vietnamese people there, and they were, there was a gas that was let out.
And this isn't a flashback.
It's like the area they were, I don't know if I should use the word attacking. They were coming into this area. There was like a building, right? They were going into a building, wasn't it? And the building got gassed. Some kind of green gas came into the building. That it was like U.S. guys that they were gassing. Somebody was putting gas in there, and it was our side.
Right, I think we were gassing them.
Like we were gassing them, I guess, but for some reason, also our guys were going in there.
Which usually happens anyway. I'm pretty.
At least, yeah, and I guess I don't know if they were experimenting to see what would happen with our guys, or just experimenting with the gas, but.
It was creating an effect.
Scully and his buddy go in there.
You mean Skinner and his buddy?
Skinner. I always confuse Scully and Skinner. I might call him Splinter. I might call him Shredder. But he went in there, and but his buddy Haley Joel Osment got the gas.
Right. So he starts acting very.
Hallucinating and seeing a monster. It's the same monster that everybody sees, which I think is weird.
But he starts acting very murderous as well. Like
but he's seeing a monster. He's trying to kill a monster, isn't he?
Yeah, I think so. If I remember, yeah, he is. You're right.
Okay, so he's trying to kill this monster, and it's like this skull with horns or antlers or something, and it's like a Wendigo kind of looking thing, right? And so he's like, so he's killing all these they're like just peasant or village people or whatever. They're not like they're the village people. They're not like soldiers, but he's just like killing them all.
Right.
And he's seeing monsters, and Skinner's trying to snap him out of it, right? And I guess he gets him out of there.
And the point that they were trying to make throughout the whole thing is that initially he started off as this guy who was just scared of everything. Not Skinner, his friend.
Guy.
His best friend.
Joel Osment.
He started off as this guy who was just scared of everything. He was drafted. He didn't want to be there. He didn't want to kill. And then this gas that they were giving him.
They were experimenting with this gas.
Right. This gas
basically
turned him into this, killer.
He became and he
was hallucinating and all of that.
And it wasn't just that, because then after that he was kind of nuts.
Right. He got to a point where he was keeping a necklace with ears
of human ears.
Collecting them.
And he knew that he was killing people.
Right.
At that point, because he was talking about how he got a little kid and cut his ear off and everything. Yeah. So it was not just seeing monsters anymore, but he had kind of lost it. And I don't know if that was the gas or if that was the fact that he was not a killer and
then he was in
forced to kill, and then he just kind of lost it because Skinner mentions later that he had joined up, but his friend Haley Joel Osment had been drafted. But yeah, when I was 18, I could have told you that word quick. Draft. But anyway. So yeah, he was totally this not violent guy, and he was kind of pushed into that. So I don't know if he just lost his mind because of that, but
no,
of course the gas was doing bad things, yeah. And so anyway, that was the flashback, but
right. But Mulder and Scully, they go to this town where Haley Joel Osment is from, and, do they know that Haley Joel Osment is from there yet? Oh, and by the way...
They're looking for Skinner, and...
I don't remember the Haley Joel Osment's character's first name.
His last name was
James, so we know that.
So we know that.
So let's just call him Mr. James.
And then there was two of them, because it was the father and the son.
Right.
So, yeah, I forget.
Boy James, Mr. James.
But anyway, I'll just call him Haley Joel Osment, but
okay.
I think that's easy. Haley. But no, they just went there looking for Skinner.
Right.
And somebody, because kind of the episode starts with a hunter out in the woods there, and he falls into a trap.
Right.
And it kills him, because it's a pit with spikes. And basically, this area in the woods, and it's around where Haley Joel Osment lives, has a bunch of traps, and they're all the Vietnam type traps, that you would stumble into, tripwires and pits and things like that.
And then nets
and
full of
most
things.
of them are deadly traps, but then there were nets and things. I don't remember if those were deadly, but anyway, just a bunch of really deadly traps all around the. It was a trailer, right, that he was living in. So yeah, and so this hunter got killed, and they went and they were checking that out.
Because the footage that the police in that town had was of this guy falling in, this hunter falling into the pit, and then we see Skinner coming over in the video and standing over him and like looking over him with the flashlight.
That was the thing that got them over there. They didn't know.
Well, they didn't know that
Haley Joel Osment yet or anything.
They didn't know that that was going to be Skinner either. They were surprised when they saw that video in the police office too. But you know, anyway, so they end up going to that area, and Kitten comes in with this homeless dude who
there's some homeless guys sitting on a bench, or a drunk or homeless, I don't know, or crazy. And he's rambling and he's telling them something about, what did he say about the kid?
He said the eagle, or he couldn't tell the eagle. Or
I told the eagle about
and then
that there's no kitten or something like that.
And then Mulder made the connection and said, "Wait, was the eagle bald?"
So the eagle
was Skinner.
So not the kitten.
Right. So yeah, you're right, completely.
Yeah. The kitten was what? Haley Joel Osment?
I guess so.
Well, we know that he had a bunch of pictures of cats in his trailer, and that was the father that had painted those.
Maybe the father was called Kitten
because
he loved cats so
much. Maybe. So anyway,
we're just putting this stuff together.
We're putting it together now. I don't know why. Because when we first saw this, it was a few weeks back. And then today we were kind of halfway watching it.
Yeah. But it was really good.
No, it's a really good episode. So anyway, so they go out to investigate the area and talk to, I don't know, not initially talk to Haley Joel Osment, right? But they're checking out the area. And Skinner has fallen into one of the traps.
Skinner fell into the trap, and then Haley Joel Osment comes along and gives him this whole speech about how, or actually, I think they showed earlier that Skinner had gone in there to to find Haley Joel Osment's father, and then that's when the kid tells him that his father had been in the asylum for 34 years or something, 36 years. And then that's when Haley Joel Osment takes him outside, and then Skinner falls into the pit or something. Sure. Or he pushes him in there. I don't know. Something like that. Yeah.
He falls in the pit, and then he you know, like I said, this is a pit that's got spikes.
Yeah. So Skinner
straight up
gets a spike straight through his body.
And it was like, that seemed like a death thing.
I know.
But in all honesty, he was pretty lucky. Like the other guy who fell in had one straight through his head, and then a couple through his body and everything.
Well, and then
because he fell right in the middle.
Yeah, and Haley Joel Osment cut a rope and that was attached to a tree, and then his father, the body of his father, fell down into the pit.
Wait, what? The body of his father?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
So was it dead already? I don't remember that part.
Yeah, it was dead. I think he hung himself, or
the father hung himself, or Haley Joel Osment killed his father.
I
mean, they're both Haley Joel Osment, but anyway. Well, anyway, we'll have to watch this again.
Is it hung or hanged?
I don't know that. It's hunged or hanged. It's not hunged.
I thought it was
but
hanged.
It's hung or hanged.
He hanged himself.
Yeah,
right.
I still say hung. I've always said hung. I don't. It sounds right to me. It sounds correct. Hanged sounds dumb. I don't care if it's.
That's the right word.
I don't care if it's correct. It sounds stupid.
Okay.
Hanged myself. Hung sounds past tense.
Okay.
Anyway.
So.
Why are you gonna tell somebody you hanged yourself? Oh well, I guess you say he hanged himself.
He hanged himself.
That still sounds dumb. He hung himself.
I know, but I think it's right. Anyway, so so he falls in the pit with Skinner. Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, Mulder and Scully come to investigate, and they arrive at the trailer, and they encounter Junior Haley Joel Osment, and he says some really weird things to them. I think Mulder puts 2 and 2 together, and he tells Scully to walk out. You know, like let's just go, let's get out of here, because I don't know what he sees. I don't remember what he sees or how he's tipped off to that, but
I forgot. I did know and I forgot.
But yeah, so.
But he was sneakily looking through pictures, wasn't he? Or
maybe
something?
he saw a picture of Skinner with the dude.
Yeah, I think he did see that.
Did Haley Joel Osment say he never knew a Skinner?
Yeah, it was something like that.
Okay. So then at that point, y'all are gonna hate us.
Yeah, we're bad at this. But anyway. So, it was like our 3rd video today, so.
So they walk out. And they go and try to leave. Or no, Mulder tells Scully that he's gonna stay and look around a little bit, and he tells Scully to go get backup. So Mulder snoops around, Scully leaves. Mulder finds the pit with Skinner in it, and then Haley Joel Osment comes up from behind and pushes Mulder into the pit. And Skinner, the GI that he is, he like pushed Mulder in a way
from the,
so that he wouldn't
from the spikes.
Yeah, which was really lucky for Mulder. And
we can put drunk X-Files by Moonlight. And it doesn't, nobody knows. And it'll like get better ratings, more views, and thumbs ups and everything because people like that.
Just put it.
Drunk X-Files by Moonlight. And we're not. But.
I don't drink.
I don't either.
Anymore. So anyway, Mulder's down there in the pit now, and the Junior Haley Joel Osment comes in with the mask and everything. Right?
Oh, wait a minute. When he like puts Skinner into the pit, and then he says, "Who's seen monsters now?"
Oh yeah, that's his line.
I feel like that was like referencing to like I see dead people.
I think so too.
Except it was totally different because it was monsters and.
He didn't
But
exactly
it's
say
still,
it.
it reminded me of I see dead people, and it was like, who's seeing dead people now? But he couldn't say that. He had to say monsters.
Well done. So then he comes up with the monster mask, and he's about to, kill Skinner and Mulder. Mm-hmm. And then, of course, Mulder's freaking out, by the way. It's so sad when you see Mulder's freak out face, because he's like, oh god. And then, of course, Scully comes up from behind the trees and shoots him, right? Shoots Haley Joel Osment, I think? Yeah. Shoots him down.
Sure.
Then Scully gets Mulder out of the hole, and then Scully looks down on the ground and sees that he's gone. Haley Joel Osment is gone. So Skinner just says, go get him. So Skinner's still in that damn hole. And then Mulder and Scully run after Haley Joel Osment, but I don't think they fully realize how many traps are in those woods around that area. So they're about to run into a trap, but Skinner gets in the way, and Skinner puts Haley Joel Osment underneath the trap. So this board full of spikes comes down.
The drop down thing, the flat thing with all the spikes.
And Mulder and Scully miss it by
and it just crushes Haley Joel Osment.
Yeah, so that's that.
And the ghost of Bruce Willis has a teardrop and disappears. But so
that's what's happened to the little boy in the movie.
He went crazy.
Oh, and that was his father, right? The father
Which
just
one?
left him or something.
Yeah, there you go.
Did he die? I don't know. Anyway,
so
that was the episode. One of the redeeming moments of the episode for Mulder and Scully was when they walked into the trailer after all this was done, and Scully was cleaning Skinner's wound, which I don't know what you're doing to that wound, but that's not gonna help. I feel like
a hole, right?
It's a hole right his body.
Through him.
But I guess she covered it, so whatever.
Covered it.
And they called the paramedics, the ambulance, and they were waiting for them. And they had this discussion, and Scully said, you know, Kirsch, aka Jerk, told us that we were the reason for your lack of upward mobility in the FBI. And Skinner basically says, well, yeah, it's kind of true. But, I mean, he didn't say it in those words. But he also meant, I don't know if he really meant that. I don't think he meant
what did he
to say that. Because he said, it's true that I wouldn't be here if it weren't for you two, and I don't mean the fact that you saved my life or something. But no. Okay, so he wasn't blaming Mulder and Scully, now that I think about it. He was just saying, he was leading up to his statement saying that Mulder and Scully, or that throughout his life he was so patriotic, and being out in Vietnam, it kind of made him less of a patriot, and he started to think like a conspiracy guy in a way. So he started to be paranoid a little bit, but he kind of tried to like dumb that down a little bit inside of him. And then when he met Mulder and Scully, you know, they taught him to face that head on and, you know, question things and you know, face them and not just stifle them in a way. So yeah, he was putting them up, and now they're all friends, and yeah.
Are they totally friends again?
Yeah, because he was when he walked out to go to the ambulance, Mulder said, "Hey,
well, he
Skinner,
hasn't explained himself.
Hey, Skinner, we're with you."
Yeah, he hasn't explained himself about being with the Smoky Man all the time and everything.
No, he hasn't. He has not. But I think they for the most part, trust him.
Yeah. Okay.
Maybe.
Yeah, it was a good episode. I did like it a lot. Yeah.
Oh, and at the very end. Oh, did we mention about the whole teeth thing? I don't think so.
Oh no, yeah.
Throughout this whole episode, the whole like people in the town are just losing teeth.
It reminded me a lot of Mothman prophecies. You know, the people throughout the town were. Yeah, they're just losing their teeth, like,
which is
an effect of
the gas.
Because did they ever say basically this town is getting the gas, right? Did they ever say that?
They showed it
at the end of the episode.
Right.
They do show that they're like gassing that area with like planes, like crop duster planes,
right?
Or did they ever say what that was about? It's just they just sort of said that they're still working on perfecting that gas, and then they showed them.
Well, and it's a mind control gas. That's
it's a mind control gas. They said that it, like Haley Joel Osment was explaining it at one point and saying how it was a spin-off of the MK Ultra.
Right, right.
It is called MK something. The new one was MK something else.
And Mulder, it's nice to see Mulder's paranoia come out sometimes, because in these later episodes, it almost feels like he's kind of just meh about life in a way, you know what I mean? He's like, whatever happens. But in this particular episode, when Haley Joel Osment was discussing MK Ultra with them, he like turned to Scully and he was like, you know, yep. Like
MK Ultra?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's not, but I mean, she already knew about MK Ultra because she was like, didn't they stop doing that?
Right, and he said so.
40s or something.
So we thought, or
yeah, obviously.
So they tell us.
Stop.
So, and then at the very end of the episode, we see Skinner reach into his mouth and pull out one of his molars.
One of his teeth. Yeah, that was kind of freaky.
Yeah.
So what does that mean? Is he gonna go crazy?
I don't know.
Or
I hope he goes crazy on the cigarette smoking man. I'm like,
I don't know, man. That's weird.
You know,
I feel like they're just gonna drop the whole thing.
Really?
I feel as far as this, I think this was a.
I feel like if they had had more seasons to come, they probably would have, milked that a little bit more.
The gas thing. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but like right now, don't you think it's probably we're never, we're never gonna hear anything about him losing his teeth and getting crazy or anything?
No, because
I guess if he leaves the town,
I think he got out of there quick enough, you know.
Yeah, maybe.
But yeah, so that was the episode.
Very good. Were there any shipper moments?
Shipper moments. You know, guys, I didn't see any shipper moments except for one, and that would be Mulder's little side joke comment about his juices.
Oh yeah, that was a joke about getting his juices. Scully was like, "Does that get your juices flowing?" What was it when he found the ear?
Yeah. One of the notes, or the note that was in the envelope with the ear said the monsters.
Something about monsters.
And she said, "Does this get your juices flowing?" And he said, "As much as I like any reference to my juices, Scully." Anyway, there's that.
There's that. I'm sure that there was nothing else. There was like not even a little.
It's my my perception has changed a little bit because now that they're so together, those like little moments might
subtle stuff is just
they might just be kind of.
I don't know. Yeah, this was very
not noticeable to me.
very Skinner-centric episode.
Yeah.
So, there wasn't a lot of time for. It wasn't a lot of them alone. They were usually either talking. They were usually talking with somebody, like Haley Joel Osment, or you know.
I will say that once again, I really enjoyed seeing them in the car together.
Oh yeah, there was the car stuff.
Because
there was nothing in the car.
That is great, and that's not shipper. It's not shipperish by any means.
Shipperish in the car.
No, it's just the fact that lately we've been seeing them in separate cars, and it's nice to go back to the old school way of them traveling together in the car. So it was nice.
That makes sense. Sure.
So yeah, that's it, guys.
It was a good episode.
It was really good. We liked it. What do you think? It's one of your favorites of this season?
Oh gee,
Oh gee.
Oh gee. Gee, what else? What have we seen? There was the funny one.
The other funny one.
And then there was the. I don't know. I'd have to you'd have to list off for me all the episodes of the season.
Yeah.
There haven't been. How many have there been? What was this episode? What?
This is episode 6, and they just came out with episode 7.
Which we are posting immediately.
Right.
We actually already shot that one. So
we have 3 more episodes.
It might have been one of the better episodes because there haven't been that many actually.
I really love the Twilight Zone episode.
Yeah, that was one of the really good ones, and I feel like there was another one I really liked, wasn't there? After that? So
they've all been great as far as we're concerned. I mean, we haven't had a lot of negative comments.
I mean, there was at least 1 or 2 that I didn't think were that great.
Well, compared to last season, which
I don't even remember last season.
Even though it was great to see Mulder and Scully together again, some of the episodes were a little not up to par. I would say
the episode about that actually was about William this season. I really liked
that. Yeah,
that was the best so one. Good. I don't remember that one, and then the Twilight Zone one. Those were 2 of my favorites. I'm not remembering. There was a Lone Gunman one, which was
that was great too. Yeah.
I don't remember how much I liked that one. I just don't remember.
You really liked it.
And then I probably did, and then I know there was at least 1 or 2 that I wasn't. Into.
You weren't super into. Did you like the one with the actress from Home? The one about the.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I'm trying to remember. Oh, I was a little disappointed because that was supposed to be the doppelganger.
Oh yeah.
Was that the doppelganger?
You were disappointed because it wasn't a real doppelganger.
I'm glad we brought that up though. I saw an episode of the TV show Monsters.
Yeah, we've been rewatching that show.
Yeah, from the 80s. It's from the 80s. And it might have been in the 90s too. And it was one of those syndicated anthology horror shows. And there was an episode about a doppelganger. It was like a legit doppelganger. Except, again, they do... It was like the Kolchak one. It was that level of legit.
Okay.
Now, in the Kolchak one... when we were remembering it, we remembered that it was actually a ghost of somebody that became a duplicate. It turned itself into.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, it was actually somebody's ghost that chose to like become a doppelganger.
You know,
of somebody.
Twilight Zone had a real doppelganger episode.
Okay, you're gonna have to show me that one because I know I've seen it, but I don't remember
that one
how
is
it panned
freaky.
out. Because to me, a doppelganger is like, well, in this Monsters episode, what I was gonna say is check it out if you want to see doppelganger stuff. But I do have to admit that they do explain it to be a demon in that.
Okay.
And I mean that kind of works out because traditionally a doppelganger,
is a villainous
as I
creature.
know it, is supposed to be evil.
Right.
Although I've heard a variety of, I still don't know if I've found a solid doppelganger story that really follows that to where it's like, it's just an evil double. And it's sort of, there are implications that it's maybe from another parallel dimension.
It's trying to get through away from their dimension.
I get, and I don't know why they're all supposedly evil. Maybe the whole dimension is evil. Okay,
I think.
Wait a minute. I got another one for you. There's that movie series. It's anthology horror called VHS.
Okay.
And in that. There is, it might be VHS 2, it might be VHS 3, but there's a story and it's all in Spanish. And this guy invents a portal and where he can go to the parallel dimension. And when he turns on the portal for the first time, he sees himself there, and it's himself in the other dimension.
That? I feel like
because I showed it to you and it was super good.
Yeah.
So basically, that's a doppelganger because it's your other dimension double, right? But it turns out that whole dimension is evil. They worship the devil and stuff, you know.
Yeah.
But of course, in the traditional idea of a doppelganger, it's trying to take over your life.
Right, and I think that's why it's got a villainous feel to it, is the fact that it just wants to take you over. You know what I mean? I don't think that is evil per se.
Well, it is
evil.
evil.
It is evil, but you know what I mean? Like the person, like,
and they don't act like regular people though. They're also creepy, like, you know, looking at you, and they don't talk.
Especially in the X-Files one, that was awesome seeing Gillian Anderson just like in the corner like that. Like
I cannot remember.
Oh
seeing
man,
that.
it was so good.
But like in the Monsters episode, and also in Kolchak, it acts like a proper doppelganger.
Well,
they do end up explaining one of them is a ghost, the other one is a demon, but they're acting like it. The way they're following the person around.
Scully definitely acted
trying
like
to take over their life.
I don't remember how Mulder's doppelganger acted.
But I just recalled again in the Monsters episode, they do kind of explain it differently towards the end. You find out it's a demon. Also, it's not really trying to take over the guy's life, but the guy thinks it is.
Right.
He thinks it's a doppelganger trying to take over his life. But anyway, I mean, yeah, so there are these good quasi-doppelganger programs out there. Yeah, that you can check out if you want to see doppelganger stuff, but still waiting for that.
I love doppelganger.
Perfect
stuff,
doppelganger thing.
Well, I'll have to show you that Twilight Zone episode because I really do. As I recall, we should watch that tonight. That doppelganger one and that.
And I know there was a movie that used to be on Netflix, and I don't remember what it was called, but it was all these like I want to say high schoolers maybe. They were having this big party at a big house party, and. I forget why, but something happened, and it might have been an eclipse or something. I don't know, but it caused a glitch in like space-time continuum or something, and so it caused them to all have doubles.
Ooh.
But and so there was this like, and I don't think they were evil, but I don't remember. But
that's really interesting.
It was a really good movie, even though it was just one of these random horror films you find on Netflix and you think they're probably not good. But no, they're having some better ones, especially the ones that are like exclusives that they have grabbed, you know. There's some good stuff, you just gotta dig for it. But Amazon Prime has a lot of good stuff. I didn't even know that. Got a lot of bad stuff too, but they a lot of good stuff. And they have monsters on there, so that's where we've been watching.
Check out that 80s show. It's pretty.
Yeah.
I mean, it can be really corny, but it's really fun too.
They're corny. They're cheesy. Even that one has its cheesy aspects, but yeah, we'll have to watch it. But yeah, talking about an X-Files episode that's not even the one we were talking about today.
Yeah.
But
anyway, we loved this Skinner-centric episode.
It was a very good episode.
It's always nice to see something with Skinner in it, especially as we've grown to love him. I have said earlier, I have said previously that the first Skinner-centric episode, and maybe the first and only one besides this one, I wasn't really that into when I was younger, but I think the last time I saw it, I was a little more warm to it. It was very adult. It had very adult aspects to it. So, but.
Well, that's cool. Yeah, I mean, I'm not like attached or not attached. He's okay.
I really like him.
But he's all right. But yeah.
When he was first introduced, though, he was totally the Kirsch.
Yeah, I remember him like that.
I remember him like that too.
So, but yeah, it was a good episode. I liked it.
Yay!
Okay, guys.
Like, comment, subscribe.
We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.